People who posted their story on Reddit and the person in said story found it. How did it go? I once posted on Regames about how I worked for a game company on a localization and how I wasn't paid fully. I went into great detail about what I exactly worked on and which company it was, smaller indie company. My post got taken down for some bullshit reason after a few hours, and coincidentally I was contacted by the company through Skype on the same day after not hearing from them for quite a while, and got my full pay. I gave them information about my colleague who also didn't get his full pay, and he got paid fully too. Which was good money for him since he lives in Poland. Edit: since this unexpectedly blew up, I wanted to clarify that I am not saying that the company got the post pulled from Reddit. There is zero evidence for them being involved in that. I asked them personally about the payment before posting anything online, and it even waited for quite a while. I wasn't even expecting the remaining payment since a few months had already passed. It just suddenly came as a nice surprise. My sister posted about her abusive ex and he saw it, but the thing is it wasn't trending, so the only way he could see it was if he went to her profile and found it. Then instead of sorting it out himself, he had his mother call her and ask her to stop embarrassing her poor boy. That seems about right for an abusive ex. Once they don't have a hold over you, they are completely powerless and need someone else to step in and fight their battles. The guy my ex cheated on me with had his wife call my ex to berate her for making him so mad that he choked her. Man, the sentences I'm able to say now. The guy my ex cheated on me with had his wife call my ex to berate her for making him so mad that he choked her. Wait, your ex cheated on you with another guy, and that guy's wife yelled at your ex? Not for sleeping with her husband, but for making him angry and he beat her? That is so many levels of WTF. Didn't R. Kelly sing an opera about this? And I'm a choked at by it, yeah, sounds right. A few years ago I made a comment on a post about families on the day before Thanksgiving where I mentioned that one of my cousins stabbed his mother to death. My son, whose screen name I didn't know, replied, "Tell them about the cousin who killed a prostitute." A stranger popped in and asked, "How many of your family are here?" To which my son replied, "I dunno, we'll find out tomorrow at Thanksgiving." So how did Thanksgiving go? My son and I had to explain Reddit to the whole family. That must have been cringeworthy for the whole family to experience. Well, you see, it all started with Harambe. How does this gorilla getting shot have anything to do with "we'll get there when we get there"? Not exactly a story, but I posted a picture of a cat on my college campus. Someone from the same college identified the cat, we met a week later, and became really good friends. How did the cat react? She got adopted. Frown, we didn't get to say goodbye. Bummer. I was giving someone anonymous career advice on Reddit and the corporate office of company that I worked DM'd me and basically told me to stop. They saw my post and basically internet stalked me until they figured out who I was. They said they knew my identity in their DM. It was a super 1984 moment for me. In what context would your employer care that you were giving career advice to someone? I work in entertainment and there are a ton of gatekeepers that get super weird about giving anybody a leg up. Yep. Super toxic industry is super toxic. No surprise there. I'm also in entertainment. Stalking, harassment, power tripping, and gatekeeping are the norm. It's horrifying how terrible it is once you get inside. I'm working to leave it and find something more ethical. It received a very positive reaction from the person being described in the account. The post concerned a homeless man that I helped get a job and a new beginning on life. Every detail matched, so he figured out the rest from there and was glad that his story might give some degree of hope to others. First reply: that is not a horror story. What does that say about Reddit, I wonder? Special case. Very, very, very special case. Told a story about a guy I knew in high school that I hadn't spoken to in a few years. He saw it, reached out to me, we talked about how we were mutually attracted to each other in high school. He was broken up with his long-term girlfriend, so we hooked up once and then he went back to her toxic crap again. Oh well, I got to scratch that itch. He still has my copy of a book that a friend of mine put a handwritten note on the front page of, though. I've offered to send him a new copy of his choosing and pay for shipping if he'll send it back, but he ghosted me. Maybe he'll see this post too and send me good omens? I, too, am owed a book by someone from the past. You reading this, Melissa? Where's my goddamn copy of A Clockwork Orange? God ducking damn it, why did you have to remind me that I still haven't got back my signed copy of Skullduggery Pleasant? God damn it, Kath, bring me back my Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas graphic novel. I pre-ordered that shit. I once posted a story about me being exceptionally bad at basketball when I was a child, 15 years earlier, and someone commented with a link, saying, "Was this you?" The link went to the same story told from the perspective of someone else on my team. He posted it an hour before I did. This was also the second time I ever smoked weed, so my mind was just shattered. Edit. So the story was that while I was in the bathroom, one of the coaches said to the rest of my team, "If that kid makes a basket, we're all going out for ice cream." I didn't know that part, obviously. So a guy passed me the ball and I was so surprised, I shot it immediately, and it was a swish. But it was the wrong basket. All the kids on my team turned to the coach and were like, "Does that count?" He thought about it and then said no. Edit. Quarantine has made you people very dick hungry. Edit. Just remembered, it was a 3-pointer, too. Vended about a friend. Said friend had apparently been snooping my Reddit account. She has a long history of going through people's devices to snoop and find info. I hadn't given her my Reddit account. She decided based on that post to ghost me. I reached out a couple times and then she blew up at me and said all kinds of awful things. But honestly, good riddance. She used to tell me about snooping on her husband and other people. That stuff always made me uncomfortable, but I tried to be supportive because we've been friends for so long and she always had some kind of justification. But she has always been surrounded by drama and conflict, and we had had a falling out before. I should have known it would come around to me again. I've had a similar experience. A friend who I knew dropped people for no reason out of the blue. Then one day she dropped me, and the rest of our mutual friends out of the blue and hasn't talked to us since. I don't know why any of us were surprised. But like you said, good riddance, these people don't deserve our time. If they want to duck off with their toxicity, let them. Also, if Gwen reads this, your writing is terrible and your music taste is even worse. I had another throwaway account where I posted stories about my mill. One weekend when visiting her, she started repeating things almost verbatim from the comments and stories. I think it was just a power play to let me know she had found the stories. I played it cool, pretended I didn't recognize anything she was saying, and then promptly deleted the account, started a new one and changed the, easily guessable if you know me, password on my phone. It didn't make her stop her shitty behavior. But now that she knows I am onto her manipulation tactics, she tries to be sneakier about them and work harder to get my husband on her side. Shoulder shrug. Missed opportunity. If you were suspicious that she knew your throwaway account's username and she was keeping that from you, you could have ducked with her to no end in so many ways. Either the Robert Barone technique where he knew his mom read his diary so he did nothing but talk about how much he loved her and how great her cooking was to gain brownie points. This is as opposed to Ray, who used his diary to record his dick size. You could have also tricked her into thinking you were up to no good, wait for her to act on her suspicions only to find nothing, making her realize that it wasn't your account all along and that she's paranoid. So many things. Damn. I would have loved to make her fall for something stupid. Well, at least you know you're a nice person since this never occurred to you. For the record, I also immediately jumped to ducking with her, so I'm not making a moral judgment here, lol. Nothing special. Worked at a lab that got some national press. A coworker commented they worked on it. I chimed in, that O2 worked on it. They are the only coworker that knows much main account name. Doesn't it bother you that they know? I feel restricted knowing that some of my friends know my username. It's too bad you can't easily create a new username. Okay, but I really like my username. Maybe in the future I'll change it. Just do Big Macius Pickles. They'll never suspect a thing. Well, now they will.